What a game we have had in Asia Cup back to back. It was Hong Kong getting close to Sri Lanka last night, but today there it has been a genuine upset. We expected Afghanistan to be strong. They've been very good versus Pakistan in the Tri Nation series, and overall, they've qualified for the semi-finals of T20 World Cup last year, beating Australia, beating Bangladesh. Uh, you know, kind of expected, of course, beating Sri Lanka also. Kind of expected, them to easily make the super force, but it's not going to be the case because today Bangladesh have pulled uh, magic out of their hats, and the main reason of that was the poor power play bowling by Afghanistan, especially Fazalak Faruqi, and we have been calling this out on our channel. Like, please drop Fazalak Faruqi, Afghanistan, if you want to win long term. Okay, he swings the ball early, but as we have seen in the IPL also, he's not a genuine wicket taker. And when he goes for runs, he can go for a lot of runs. And today, it was his spell of 4 overs, 37 runs that ultimately made the difference. And, the power play score of Bangladesh was 60, 59 actually. So, and the power play score for Afghanistan was 27. So there was a 32 run difference in the power play itself that actually impacted this match a lot. And, it put a lot of pressure on Afghanistan to then chase the game. And at the end, they needed 94 in last 10 overs, and they've actually managed to get 86 of them and only lost by 8 runs. So what that does now is they, in the tournament context, they need to now beat Sri Lanka. That's a must-win game for them because unfortunately, for Bangladesh, they did not take care of the net run rate when they got an easy match versus Hong Kong. They did not step on the accelerator. I mean, only Liton Das made 59 of 39, but it took them some time to chase. So now the initiative is still rests with Afghanistan if they can beat Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has been a little bit shaky. You saw that versus Hong Kong, they were not really dominating. And in the past, also, although they did dominate Bangladesh, they didn't dominate Zimbabwe in that T20 series, which was won by some good pressure knocks by Kamindu Mendes. So it will be an interesting battle on Friday. These two teams, but it's been like talking about this match. I think Tanzid Tamim. So we were talking how Bangladesh are missing Tamim Iqbal, they're missing Mushfiqur, kind of in ODI format. Maybe they're missing Shakib Al Hassan. They're missing Mehdi Hasan Miraj. The depth in the batting is not there, but Tanzid Hassan Tamim, like he proved his talent. So they dropped Parvez Hussein Imon, who was supposedly the batter in form coming into this tournament, and they dropped him and they played us spinning all rounder Saif, made him open, Saif Hassan. And Saif Hassan started really slowly, but that didn't affect them because it was Tanzim Hassan Saqib. Not Tanzim Hassan Saqib, but Tanzim it's very confusing. Tanzid Tamim, actually, who actually started so well in the power play. Giving that start 50 of 32 on this pitch. And see, this is exactly the strategy you need to have in UAE. You need to attack the power play. That's what Abhishek Sharma did. And that's where I think the teams that have lost have failed. Actually, they've not attacked the power play because that's where you have the best conditions to bat. Later, when the dew comes or the dew doesn't come, you have to be dependent on the dew because the ball turning immediately. Like Sri Lanka realized last night, it was difficult to win once you have not done well in the power play. They also trailed Hong Kong in the power play. And, uh, credit to the selection that they brought in that extra spinner in Nasum. I think Nasum bowled brilliantly, started with a wicket maiden. He was almost didn't give any runs in his first 2 overs. He gave 7 runs in his first 3 overs. I think you compare that in the power play to compare Faruqi's spell in the power play. I think that's where the difference was. And I think Leighton Das made a great judgment to use 3 overs of Nasum in the power play and totally quietened down Gurbaz. And not sure what has happened with Gurbaz because he was such a free flowing batter once he was competing with Phil Salt to take that opener position in KKR. But now, maybe it's the team policy that is affecting him. And the team policy is to see off the power play because we have hitters of like Nabi, Naib, and Rashid down the line. But what I've been calling like cricket caviar has been so spot on. So we have been calling about Kareem Jannat also why he still keeps his place today. Also, I think where he needed to step up 5 of 6 and playing Rishad like a schoolboy really didn't help. And I've called him the worst cricketer of Asia. Although I think there is a Bangladeshi player, Shamim, who can seriously challenge because he does nothing with bat or ball. I think it's better to play another genuine spinner in place of Shamim. Today, actually, after the power play, if you see Bangladesh batting and finishing was quite poor. So they had so many wickets left and they still could not finish in the last 5 overs. Some good bowling by Azmatullah Omarzai in the death. And Faruqi also came back well in the death. Of course, their spinners controlled the middle overs. So they scored just run a ball throughout the middle overs. They scored run a ball throughout the death overs. And they just made 90 after scoring 60 runs in the power play. They just made 95 runs in the next 14 overs. In 84 balls, they made 95 runs. So they could not finish with a bang even with so many wickets left. Actually, I like Nurul Hassan Sohan. I think he should be the one who should be given more chances. He came and hit a boundary first ball. Jakir Ali has been bagged a lot, but I think Nurul Hassan Sohan is a level above him. He can be a good finisher. Today he was given the chance. Playing a T20 after a long break, and the selections that Bangladesh made were spot on. I mean, Nasum, Saif. The problem with Bangladesh is their fifth bowling option, and Shamim and Saif actually combinedly gave 4 overs, 55 runs in their 4 overs, and that actually helped Afghanistan to keep them on track for the chase with, Gulbadin. Rashid Khan absolutely played a blinder at the end with his no-look shots to Mustafizur Rahman. That was a delight to watch, and we were all thinking like, why does Rashid Khan underestimate himself as a batter? Because he's now the captain. He could have easily promoted himself at least ahead of Kareem Jannat, but he doesn't do so. And I think Afghanistan has paid far too many times for this because Rashid always comes when the equation is almost ungettable. And he plays well, but if he could have come earlier and played the same knock, he could have made the equation easier for someone like Kareem Jannat also to play decently. But unfortunately, that's been the problem with Rashid Khan. He undervalues his batting as a captain. At least you should promote yourself sometimes, surprise the opponent, but he never does that. So you know, uh, poor batting by Afghanistan in the power play. Ibrahim Zadran, we have said in the preview, he should not be part of the T20 team. If you are uh, not playing Hashmatullah Shahidi in T20 cricket, then don't play Ibrahim Zadran. Find other openers, Hazratullah Zazai maybe, or bring back Najibullah Zadran from wherever you have left him. So just bring back these guys, and that would give you a better chance of winning these kind of games. But what worries me about Afghanistan and Bangladesh is that Afghanistan always dominates Bangladesh in the bilateral series, except for when Bangladesh plays at home. Of course, Bangladesh has their strength at home. They create spinning pitches and play a lot of spinners, and that's exactly what they did here. They went with their strength. Even with two pacers playing, they got an extra spinner. That was a very good move. I think Nasum delivered big time today. And with Shakib there, I have no doubts that Bangladesh should have won this match even more easily. So, Liton Kumar Das has been very good. He's won some home series, but the problem with Bangladesh is they really falter in the big tournaments. But what they've been doing in the big tournaments is they've been beating Afghanistan. So they beat Afghanistan in the Cricket World Cup 2023 in India, in Dharamshala, where they bowled out Afghanistan for 128. They beat Bangladesh in Asia Cup 2023 in Lahore. They almost beat Afghanistan. They restricted them to 115, and they should have chased that, but they got into pressure and could not chase there. Got bowled out for 105. Obviously, that match is remembered for Gulbuddin Naib, Oscar-winning acting. But the point is that Bangladesh, even being an inferior team than Afghanistan, have got their wood over Afghanistan in these big tournaments, and that's what makes this rivalry the most fascinating. And that's what I was today morning. I was discussing with my colleagues, and I was telling that if anything can happen in this match, and anything did happen, because you didn't expect, Bangladesh to come out firing in the power play. Then the spinners came and restricted, but that makes you wonder about Rashid Khan's captaincy. Could he have bowled himself in the power play? Could he have bowled Noor Ahmed in the power play instead of Allah Ghaznafar? So, because they lost the match in the power play, once you give 60 runs, after that, only a runner ball kind of play was required to get to 160, 155, and that was kind of the par score. And then they started so poorly in the power play, they were much behind the game. Uh, you know, Even with Gulbuddin Naib, who I have supported to be promoted at number 4, he was finally promoted to number 4. It was not going to be enough. So Rashid's promotion was much, much needed, but he undervalues his batting a lot. And this has been my main complaint with Rashid Khan over the years. But, you know, Mustafizur Rahman was what an experienced pro, and Tashkin is now also experienced, and they brought in their experience. So even in the crunch moments when you saw Tashkin was getting hit, he got that wicket of Nabi. Then Mustafizur Rahman was getting hit, he got the wicket of Rashid Khan. So both these experienced pros actually stepped up, and that makes you think whether Shariful Islam will play again. I highly doubt so, because even in the match versus Hong Kong, I felt Shariful Islam gave 3 overs 26, whereas Tanzim Sakib was more impressive. And even in the field today, you saw Tanzim Sakib saving a certain boundary of Karim Jannat and making him feel the pressure. And he committed a suicidal run out. That was totally unnecessary run, because he was under so much pressure at 5 of 6. He didn't know what to do, because that boundary had been just saved by Tanzim Sakib. I think he's a very committed guy. He should get more chances. As a substitute, he did brilliantly. I think Bangladesh fielding was superb today. Normally I associate this fielding with Mehdi Hasan Miraj, who is such a brilliant fielder. But today, I think, except for one catch dropped by Rishad, I think they were brilliant. I think they should not have even appealed for Ibrahim Zadran. He was playing so poorly. And Rishad Hussain, he stepped up today. He's been the one who's had on and off days a lot. When he gets into rhythm, like he showed versus Sri Lanka in the T20 World Cup, it's very difficult for any team to beat Bangladesh. So let's see what happens on Friday now. It's going to be Sri Lanka versus Afghanistan. And since this was a close match, so Bangladesh have not helped their net run rate at all. And now it's good. The decider will be who wins the Sri Lanka versus Afghanistan contest. And Sri Lanka is already qualified, so it will be one among Afghanistan and Bangladesh who qualify depending on that result. So that's it from my end. Thank you guys for watching our channel. Please do like and subscribe and comment. Thank you for watching Cricket Caviar.